Hey everybody, I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for GamingTrend.com. You may have joined us recently where we opened up the PlayStation 5 and loaded a Seagate Firecuda 530 NVMe. We benchmarked it and we tested the temperatures, but that particular module did not come with a heatsink. The very next day we loaded a heatsink that we picked up from a third party onto the system and brought the temperatures down from 140 degrees down to around 99 degrees. I was curious though, what would the temperatures be like on the Seagate Firecuda 530 that comes with a heatsink? Would there be any difference? Would there be any change in the benchmarks? Let's open up the PlayStation 5 one more time and see what happens. Once again, I'm going to demonstrate how to open up your PlayStation 5 safely. It is far simpler than you think. I've seen a lot of people do this wrong. They'll simply grab on this and just yank. Instead, find where your disk slot is, go to the opposite corner, lift this corner, and then slide towards the rear of the system. It should come off very easily. It's that simple. The next thing you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver. That's not a standard size Phillips head, so you're going to need a small screwdriver set like this. I believe that is a 25. With that metal plate removed, you can see the drive and the aftermarket SSD cooler that I put on top of it. The same screwdriver that you use to pull this screw can be used to remove the NVMe drive. I'm going to pull that. This should lift right up and slide out fairly easily. You can see with the two drives, the aftermarket one is slightly taller than the one that Seagate is putting on their 530. Otherwise, these drives are identical. So let's go ahead and put this new drive in and we'll benchmark it and see what happens. It should slide right into place. Very little effort. It uses the same hold off position, pushes down, drop the screw in, and you're done. Now I'm going to take the system downstairs where my capture unit is, format the drive, and I'll be right back. Formatted and ready. Next up, we're going to fire this up, play some Spider-Man Miles Morales, test the temperature on this, and see where it lands. With the system booted, we're going to go ahead and take an ambient temperature reading. Looks like that's coming out to be about 92.9, 93 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and fire up Miles Morales. All right, resuming my save game, we're seeing temperatures around 85 to 87. proving that this Firecuda with the integrated heatsink looks to be about 10 degrees cooler than what we measured on that third-party heatsink on another 530. But to be sure, let's do apples to apples. I'm going to shut down the system, swap these out, and let's try it again. All right, the 530 with the aftermarket heatsink is back in the system. Ambient temperature looks to be around 85 degrees. Somewhere between 85 and 87. All right, with the game running, let's go ahead and run those same tests again. We're seeing numbers between 96 and 99. So as you can see, the integrated heatsink on the Seagate Firecuda 530 is far superior than the third-party ones. You're gonna save yourself possibly up to 10 degrees, which is always great for maintaining your hard drive over time. Electronics typically don't like heat, so the cooler the better. It is worth noting that Seagate recommends that you keep the drive under 158 degrees Fahrenheit, which is great if the drive happens to get overly hot, or if you happen to live in Texas where it is absolutely miserable. So there you have it. There's ostensibly no difference between the two drives in terms of speed, which we kind of expected, but there's a pretty big difference between using a third-party heatsink and the one that comes with the Seagate Firecuda 530. When I factor in the cost of what the aftermarket heatsink for this drive cost versus the integrated drive on this, it's about a $10 difference. And for me, I like one-stop shopping. I'm Ron Burke, editor-in-chief for GamingTrend.com. Let us know in the comments what you think and if you've managed to score one for yourself. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again very soon.